I am not the body. Do what you want to do. Someone who could see himself abide in his own essence, in his own truth. He definitely knew his timeless nature. The nature of the soul as Nitya Upalabdhi Swarupa. Atma is Nitya Upalabdhi, an ever effulgent, essential being I am, which is free from the bondage of time, free from the conditionality of even space. We will see in the remaining verses, very beautifully the next few verses unfolds further the nature of Atma, comparing it to the sun, comparing to the space, and describes, when this is who you are, then you know something, one great truth we have to own up about ourselves. You have no choice. If you want to be happy, a happy human being, you want to fulfill your purpose of life, which is what? Searching happiness, no? You only told me. We are happiness searchers. Are you a finder also? You can become a happiness finder when you stop being a fault finder, you know. Yeah. You know fault finder? We are all fault finders. We look at the world through our mind, through a judgment of right and wrong, likes and dislikes. This is the filter through which we see the world. The day I see the world as I see my soul, the day I see the other as I see myself, my essential being, as a pure, harmless, conscious being living in unconditionality, I will recognize my limitless nature. I will recognize that I am a reflection of the infinite. My love is unconditional. Everybody wants love in this world. Which kind? Conditional kind or unconditional kind? Eh? Come on, be honest. Oh, of course we want unconditional love. All right. And which is the love that you give? Conditional or unconditional? You can't have two formulas for two different, you know.
But that's what said in Maitreyi Brahman, isn't it?
What I give, what I want is what I'm expected to give. What I want is what I'm expected to give. How will that happen if I see myself or I see the world through this filter of judgments, of likes, dislikes, prejudices? And therefore, in my perception needs to descend. In my perception of the world, in my perception of myself, needs to descend a new awareness of who I essentially am, so that I can actualize my truth in my day-to-day life experiences. You may say, Ammaji, this is all too high for me. This is precisely what you are searching for, understand? Don't say it is high because you want the highest. It's not my fault. You want the highest happiness. You want eternal happiness. You don't want ice cream happiness. You are not satisfied with limited. You want the limitless. You want the unconditional. And the tradition says you are that unconditional being that you are seeking. You're looking for yourself out there. Hey, you are in here. Become Become aware of your truths. Be ready to receive and allow this awareness to grow in you so that in your life you bring about those changes that are true to your essential being, intrinsic being, not incidental body, mind, sense complexes, behaviors. Let your experience be true to who you are, not true to who you incidentally are. There is two elements here. You have owned up yourself as matter. Now you own up yourself as a conscious principle. That's the only matter about Vedanta. Owning up yourself in your own essential truths. And hence you find this refrain in Hastamalakiyam. Sa nityopalabdhihi surupo hamatma. Unconditionality in expressing who you are is how you begin to experience your own truth. For which I have to let go of time-locked memories, understand? Recalling them wrongly, allowing it to afflict me, it is silly. It is silly, and hence the whole philosophy of the Bhagavad Gita is Ashocyan anvashochastvam. May you not grieve, Arjuna, because grief is illegitimate. You are creating your own experiences of grief. There is no such thing as grief outside. World is not a suffering. World is divine. It is divinity that is here. Isha vasimidam sarvam. How can it be a suffering? If there is an experience of a suffering, it is something we have generated uniquely through our conditionality, through our conditional thinking, we have suffocated ourselves in our smallness, believing this to be the only truth. Unearthing the gem is unraveling the mysteries of your own soul. Atma Vidya is Ishvara Vidya. Ishvara Darshanam in our tradition is Atma Darshan. That is why when you go to these temples, like Shabarimala and places, you go with all your vratams, 48 days and whatnot you do, just for that darshanam of Bhagavan. Finally, after standing in queues and whatnot, and you finally arrive before the Lord, and the curtain opens, and you close your eyes. Paityo. You worked so hard for what? You're supposed to keep your eyes wide open. But you automatically close your eyes. You said, Lord, why? Why? Because He is here. You can never be satisfied experiencing Him there. You don't want Him there, you want Him one with you. You are committed to oneness. No human being is ever committed to duality. Every one of us is committed to oneness. Let us own it up and not participate in activities that divide us. Owning up oneness is refusing to participate in activities that separate us. How can one do that? The coming last few verses of Hastamalakiyam gives us beautiful indications of what is it I need to do? How is it that I need to handle my conditional side of my component of myself? How should I handle this so that it does not overwhelm me where I separate myself from the other human being in my understanding, in my behavior. We will see more of this tomorrow. And before I close, I would love to spend some time in a guided meditation, accessing this innate, essential nature of the soul. May you sit with your feet a few minutes of silence. And for you to go within, it is important. Within means in your source, in your essential being. This means moving into the heart from the head. What helps us quickly to move in that space, the deeper space, is deep breathing. Nadi Shuddhi Pranayama, if you know some yogic practices. Otherwise, just close your eyes and observe your breath. Chant for me, with me, Omkara 3 times. Deep diaphragmatic breathing. Smooth and continuous, without a pause, without a jerk. Remain a witness to your breath. Allow the sounds to fall in your ears without any resistance. Simply be an observer, a sakshi, witness consciousness. I, the consciousness, is nothing but stillness, silence. A silence that ever is. A silence which is a presence. The presence which is I. Silence is not a state in absence of sound. Silence is my intrinsic nature in spite of sounds. I am the ever-abiding silence. I am the prior consciousness, even before the emergence of any thought. I am an abiding presence. After me comes